Ogden-Fettie Mound Group. Ogden-Fettie is among the oldest Native American floodplain earthwork complexes in the Midwest. While preparing the property for long-term hay production, archaeologists had an opportunity to collect artifacts from the site. When combined with previous archaeological work at the site, the results provide perspective on the rise of Havana culture circa 2100 BP, subsequent use of the site, and a long-standing theory that several of the mounds were encompassed by a moat. When this study is coupled with new research on artifacts collected by the Ogden family, we learn that the Ogden-Fettie site is a key to our understanding of Havana culture and its domination of the Illinois River Valley for nearly 4 centuries. The Ogden-Fettie Mound is one of many large groups of Middle Woodland mounds in the Illinois River Valley. It is one of a handful of Native American burial mounds that remain where once there were 35 or more arranged in a huge crescent, standing 15 feet tall. The mound was made from earth gathered by Native American hands and transported basket by basket. Each of the mounds in this complex and elsewhere are monuments that celebrate those who were buried within them and their way of life. In the early 20th century, avocational archaeologists explored small areas of the Ogden-Fettie Mound by tunneling into it. They found artifacts typical of the Middle Woodland Havana Hopewell culture and evidence of burial practices comparable to those documented at other Middle Woodland sites. There have been several more methodical small-scale archaeological investigations at the site. The assortment of stone tools, pottery, animal bone, and freshwater mussel shell is evidence of a variety of domestic activities such as food procurement and preparation. The presence of varieties of pottery, imported stone, and specific types of stone tools are generally associated with ritual activity. Further study is necessary to establish a better understanding of the number of people once resident at the site and the nature of their activities. The Ogden-Fettie site is a prehistoric mound site located south of Lewiston in Fulton County, Illinois. The site was built during the Woodland period and is associated with the Havana Hopewell culture. It dates roughly 100 BC to 400 AD. The site consists of 35 intensification of agriculture. Compared to the hunter-gatherers before them, skeletons of farmers at Dixon Mounds indicate a significant increase in enamel defects, iron deficiency anemia, bone lesions, and degenerative spinal conditions. The decline in health of Dixon Mounds population over time can be attributed to the increased reliance on agriculture, which led to a less varied and less nutritious diet, more strenuous physical labor in the fields, and more crowded permanent settlements that facilitated the spread of infectious diseases. Some also say the decline in health is due to the expansion of long-distance trade with larger economic systems, such as Cahokia, which resulted in exploitative relations in which residents of Dixon Mounds were giving away needed food for items of symbolic value. The social organization. Analysis of mortuary behavior from excavations of burial sites at Dixon Mounds provides important insight into the social organization of early Native Americans. Dixon Mounds was a hierarchically organized society. The particular objects an individual was buried with largely indicate his or her social status. For example, an abundance of tools, copper ornaments, and objects made from imported raw materials suggest high rank of an individual. Burials containing pots, spoons, and beads are much more common and indicate a modest social rank. Age and sex were also visible determinants of status, which is uncommon in most hierarchically organized societies. Burials were clustered into distinct age-sex classes. For example, mature males with high-ranking status characterized one cluster of burials. Another cluster of burials contained individuals of younger age and lower status. Specific objects signified the status of the various age-sex groups, whereas objects serving functional purposes, such as cutting or piercing, noted the status of men. Cultural and religious artifacts, along with ornamental items, noted the status of females. Marine shells tended to note the status of children. Deep class divisions in the society at Dixon Mounds are also apparent through analysis of the health and heights of the individual skeletons. For example, skeletons from burials show children of an elite class tended to be taller and healthier compared to children from lower classes. This is most American history as Havana Hopewell. At this time, Native Americans cultivated a variety of native plants in addition to relying on hunting and gathering. They cooked, served, and stored food in often highly decorated At this time, Native Americans cultivated a variety of native plants in addition to relying on hunting and gathering. They cooked, served, and stored food in often highly decorated pottery containers, lived in oval to circular shaped wigwams, engaged in long-distance trade for raw materials, such as obsidian from the Rocky Mountains and marine shells from the Gulf of Mexico, and perhaps finished goods such as smoking pipes, and they constructed burial mounds near settlements along the river and at the base of the river valley bluffs. Most contemporary communities on the banks of the Illinois River were also occupied during Havana Hopewell period.